Pirates of the Caribbean. Savvy? It's a good movie. Movies. Franchise series. How does the theme song go? Dun, 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 dun. I don't know. It's got that very generic, like, it could sound like anything basically, but it's like super catchy. Man, I've been watching Pirates since first movie. Curse of the Black Pearl, mate. The Pearl. Pearl. Me and this movie go, it's kind of special to me because I had a PSP back when those were a thing. And the only one movie I had, and I probably only had like a game or two. I had like a movie, a couple games maybe, music, some pictures. Like, I didn't really go to it. I had a carrying case. I didn't really have a whole lot of stuff for it, but one movie I had was Pirates of the Caribbean, The Black Pearl. Man, there's nothing like watching that, especially when you're a kid and you're younger, teenager, you're still in middle, high school. And that's the one thing it's different when you have a big ass glass TV and a DVD player, VHS player. It's one thing when you have something portable that you can actually watch something on. It was just insane. Yeah, you have your iPod Nanos. It's not really great for watching stuff on, even though I think technically you could put something on there. If not that, it was the big iPod, the fat one. Never had an iPod Touch. Never had a PS Vita. I didn't have a 3DS. I didn't have a. Only portable thing I had before was a Game Boy Color. And then I had phones, but no touch screen. Just buttons. Can't really watch stuff on there. So to me, it was so cool. You can lay in bed late at night, can't sleep, on the go. Obviously, during that time, there's just always something happening, whether you like it or not, or traveling, road trips. I don't know, it's just such a cool thing to have, and I wouldn't have had it any other way if it was any other movie. So basically, I've watched it like 100 times. And obviously, I've watched the other ones 100 times. Dead Man's Chest, World's End. I loved how they kept going with it, even after the first three, but it did get. They weren't bad, they're still good. Just not as good. The one with Kaya Scodelario in it, she's one of my waifus. I think that was like the latest one. I don't know. It just got weird. Once. I want to say Jack was always. I think he was in every single one of them, but. Kira and Orlando made such good supporting characters too. Elizabeth and Will. And especially because the first movie, those are the first people you see is Elizabeth and Will when they're kids. You didn't even see Jack at that point. He didn't come until later, but it's funny. I love Johnny Depp, but weirdly enough, I'd probably prefer. Like, he's the face of Pirates. He's the mascot. He's the poster boy. All these things, but what really makes it come together is Orlando and Kira. And I love Kira in Pride and Prejudice. I love her smile, her teeth, her eyes get all squinty, and I love Orlando because he's Legolas in Lord of the Rings. Johnny plays a lot of different roles, but he's always gonna be Captain Jack Sparrow. Like, sure, you can put him in Willy Wonka, whatever. All the Tim Burton stuff. You can make him Edward Scissorhands, that Window movie. But he's never just had any role that really stuck or that stood out or that was all his. And I mean, this has got to be one of his longest running series things that he's ever done, that I can think of. Because he's always kind of been in like spotty, like one-offs. And sure, he got in tight with Tim and all that, but as similar as those movies were, they were always very different. But this was so consistent for so long, and like I looked forward to each one coming out, and you know it's going to be a good time and entertaining and funny and action. And like, I'm not even crazy about pirates, but this is like the one exception, obviously. Like, I'm not crazy about pirate movies or pirate games. I'm open to it, but I'm not gonna go out of my way for it. But if it wasn't for this movie, I wouldn't like pirates at all. I wouldn't even really care less. Like, oh, yo-ho, treasure, booty, blah, blah, blah. Just not really my style or speaks to me or like spiritually or anything. It's just like, yeah, treasure. I like treasure. It's cool. I like the idea of it. And but it's like, dude, they're just a bunch of scallywag outlaws, criminals. Yeah, they got swagger and they're cool and hip and like all these things, but because I know some people really like pirate stuff, shanties and boats and water and fishing and getting gold, and I like the premise of it. I like the context of pirates, but the fact that they were a real thing and are or whatever just doesn't really, like, you're not really supposed to root for them. You're not supposed to like them, but here we are. But it's hard to put them in the same boat as like samurai or ninja, or because they more or less had a similar reputation at some point in their time, because it was always, they were always gonna be looked at as kind of like, oh, they're doing the right thing, but they're corrupt, or I mean, any type of like faction or even non-military personnel group, circle, whatever. But that's where they are categorized at, though. They're right up there with gladiators and these really stand out kind of, they're like a whole genre. So that is interesting, and I've seen documentaries of like real pirates and Blackbeard and then blah, I don't know. There's just so much surrounding it, and the myths and the legends and Davy Jones, Dutchman. But Disney and the theme ride and just everything about it is just so good. They packed everything in there. It's serious, it's goofy, it knows what it is, and you'd think that'd be kind of hard because there's pirate stuff's been around forever, but I guess nothing's really. You'll always get these like random generic, you know, flicks of pirate stuff, because it's such a wide, expansive kind of saturated, diluted thing. There was nothing ever that really gave it that like gravitas. That this was such a good foundation and made it such a solid thing. Like, if I was into pirates even more, this would be the reason why, is this movie. And to be fair, everything these guys do is great. Like, they always come out on top, and they're smart, man. They take every single thing that basically exists out there and and puts their name on it and does what they do and this high production value thing, and all of a sudden it's just the greatest thing in the world. There's some magic there. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, there's not really much to it. Like, it's educational in a way. Like, if you didn't know much about pirates or went out of your way to learn more, I'm sure a lot of these things go, like, it's all research. It's all coming from somewhere usually. I don't know how much of it's like out of nowhere original necessarily, but and I'm pretty sure this was based off the ride too. I don't think this was like after a book or anything. I don't know, I could be wrong. Most things are, but not everything. It's just cool to see something like this come to life and become a movie, and because that's got to be a really hard thing to do, because I mean, the only thing you can do is put some kind of story behind it, or else it's just it's just, oh, we're pirates doing pirate things. And but between the casting and the effects, and it's just so good. It starts off so strong and with the gold, and it's cool because every movie they do something more and more and more, and they get bigger and better. I guess when you put treasure behind it, you can really do anything with it. There's a lot of flexibility there. Tomb Raider, Uncharted, Indiana Jones, which I like those things, in National Treasure. I like those things arguably just as much. The fact that it's interesting, and curiosity and wonder and exploring and the adventure and the quest. You know, X marks the spot. Where's the treasure, and what do we have to do along the way to get it? And you think of Treasure Planet, there's so much. I don't know. Even as far as games go, like those type of things, I've been a little more open to it lately. There's not much for pirate games either. There's what, Black Sail, Crossbones, Bones, and I don't know what it's called, the Ubisoft one. Pretty sure there's a Pirates of the Caribbean game, licensed game, which wouldn't surprise me. I've sort of seen some of it, I just don't remember a whole lot. It's like an older, everything was getting licensed games back then though. There's Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Other than that though, there's not a whole lot. I guess there's Sea of Thieves, and I know they did like a Pirates of the Caribbean like collaboration or DLC or something. But what's cool is that there's not much pirate stuff out there, but what there is out there, it's good. And it all kind of helps each other, and it supports each other. And I don't think pirates are ever gonna make this like huge comeback where it's just kind of taking over, but if it did ever at all in any given point in time, it's because of Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh yeah, I guess they were in Kingdom Hearts 3, to be fair. There was a Pirates of the Caribbean section in that, which was actually pretty good. It's the one Kingdom Hearts game I played, and I probably enjoyed arguably that section the most, because it wasn't Monsters Inc. or Final Fantasy or Toy Story. It was so real, and it was good, and the graphics are great, and it was just cool. Because it's interactive, it was really that next best thing to being in the world and the Pirates universe, and it's kind of cool. And the fact that it was a live action movie that they did that made it into Kingdom Hearts, even just the thought of that alone, like it obviously did well enough to deserve a spot in there. Because even Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, I don't think they did anything like that. it was all just like Lion King, and I don't even know what all really made it into the games, but I think Milan maybe. Pretty much they're big hitters. Yeah, it's funny thinking back about it now. It's like I barely liked that game or that series at all, but the pirate part was definitely a big highlight of that. I don't know, I just have a weird relationship with this, because like between Kingdom Hearts and the movie I had on the PSP and watching these as they all came out in the theaters, and this is like the golden age of, this is when, or around-ish the time when Harry Potter was still popping and Lord of the Rings and Star Wars stuff was coming out again, and I don't know, it's just a fun time. I mean, currently, as of right now, we just don't really get stuff like this. And even if they're still trying to do something with it, I mean, it's just gonna be such a, like... I mean, to be fair, the movie's dead. Like, it's been dead for a while now, and I've noticed other, like, Jurassic Park still trying to do stuff 20 years later, which is great. I'm glad to see these things happening and these things still getting attention and getting support to come out at all, but I mean, to be fair, the last, what, 2 or 3 movies that Pirates did, just, they didn't really hit. They don't have that classic, charming, it just doesn't hit as hard, and just kind of a shame. I know one of them, they even tried to, they almost basically replaced Will and Elizabeth with like kids or something, but they weren't, it wasn't them as kids. I don't know what the, I don't remember if it was their kids. I don't even know anymore. And poor Jack, dude, I love that he kept it going, but like, he had to carry the movie so bad because there's just no one else there. Like, he's the only one that kept going. I think it was a good move, but how long is he gonna be able to keep doing that, you know? It's like when the latest Star Wars brought back Han and Leia, and you know, Terminator's trying to bring back Arnie and what's her butt? It's like, I get it, but yeah, some of these just go so far back, man. It's either we need we need something new, like new IPs and stuff, but I don't know what's going on. They just can't seem to quite figure something out, or I don't know. Hell, hire me, dude. I got ideas. Mine's always moving. But the way they kept Jack in was, it's kind of like how, you know, in Pokemon, Ash Ketchum, he's still in the shows, but like, he hasn't really aged at all. Digimon, they're trying to bring back them, but like older, you know, they're teenagers now. There's a time and place where something like that can work. It's just, I think Pirates got greedy, which is funny. Treasure, like, hey man, we're doing good, let's just keep it going, keep it rolling. But this was also when I think sequels were just going insane, like all the Fast and the Furious, and you know, Lord of the Rings was having like the Hobbit stuff going on, and Harry Potter was doing the Fantastic Beasts stuff, and holy, it was like a weird but fun, cool place to be, because you really can't complain. There wasn't really much else going on. If you're gonna have anything being spammed and drawn out, it better be something as good as this. But as of right now, I do think we're in a pretty dry state. Feels like if anything good comes out at all, it's every other few months, if that, or I don't even know, every other 6 months. And that speaks for games. Well, games are a little different, but shows, movies, I know that they're definitely And to be fair, I don't keep up and follow everything like to date, but I know there's gonna be a new Tron. I think there's gonna be a new Mortal Kombat movie too. Like, they're definitely cool things do come out, but it's so rare, which is good because it makes them more desirable. So it's like, on one hand, you can't hate them for coming. They kept making more pirate movies. It feels like pretty sequentially back to back. But you don't want them to like space it out too much either, to where by the time another one comes out, it's basically, you're not really keeping that interest there. I don't know. Above all that, I mean, Pirates did well for the time, and they did their thing, dude, and it went down in history and became a legend, and nothing's ever gonna take that away from it. And sometimes maybe it is better to just leave things as they are. And but I don't know, I don't like seeing things like this die out either, because a lot of good things have died out throughout the years. Good shows and animes and movies and games, and you kind of hate to see it, but not everything makes it through, and it's kind of a shame. Because you do what you can to support it, but I'm not someone that's going out of my way either to just basically spam anywhere that I can, like, to kind of, because I like so many things where it's like, how do you properly show support like that other than just generally participating and watching the movies and playing the games? And but beyond that, it's so hard to kind of share that love and that passion, give it the attention that it deserves, because you may or may not have a way to properly do that, or at least the way that you'd like to. And because the issue is, you can go to so many places to kind of do that, that it's just, you're putting in, it's like your job at that point, putting in work for nothing. It's kind of a shame. But what's cool is that these movies are very much still around and accessible, and watch them whenever, and they're old, so they're cheap. Or that's not the most accurate way to think about it now, but have you even tried rewatching some of the newer ones? They're still good. They're very binge-worthy, and they're definitely material that's good enough to have like a marathon. But you gotta really commit and kind of sit down and do that in the first place. Days on your weekend, days off, downtime. It's just addicting. When you rewatch one, you gotta rewatch the rest of them. But we're not even just talking like the trilogy here. We're talking, you know, more than that on top of that, so you better be committed. Yeah, it's good. My thing with movies like this, I wouldn't randomly probably rewatch it for nothing, but it just depends, like, what mood you're in, what you got going on. But yeah, they're all good. Dead Man's Chest, I've probably watched that one the most, to be honest. It's definitely the more entertaining one, and like, Black Pearl is so chill and relaxing and cozy and calm, and it's got a really good pacing and flow. But 2 definitely kind of amps it up a little bit more, but it still finds a way to keep that same vibe. And 3 is cool, but it gets weird because it's like, oh, look at us go. It got weirder throughout because they were so established, but then they kind of just kept going and going, and like, what are we doing? Where are we at? Who are we? Who are these people? Yeah, you could definitely see it spiraling downwards. It did exactly what the sequel in a trilogy should do. I don't know if I'd even call it a trilogy, but yeah, it got so like serious. and dark, and which is good. I guess that's where it was always gonna go. It reminds me of like exactly what Harry Potter did. They kind of just kept going and like, okay, and it just kept getting darker. And but what made it good in the first place, they really kind of took that out because they were trying to be, it was more like 75% dark, 25% humor. I was like, dude, y'all are just pirates, man. It really feeds into the whole seriousness of pirates. Like, we look at them as these cool guys, but dude, they're down and dirty, man. Like, brutal, savage. Like, you don't fuck around with that, you know? So yeah, it was that weird balance of like lighthearted but still kind of gnarly, which sounds great when you say it out loud. But then after that, it really started to go this other direction and kind of, I wouldn't even call it like, it's not like they rebooted the series, or I don't know. I think they brought some light back into it with the later ones because they went back to kind of what made it good, its roots, and they stuck with that, and it's definitely not a bad thing. I'm glad they did that. It's not even like it got darker, because it was always dark, dude, since the first one. You can argue the first one's maybe the darkest one, I guess, in a way. But obviously all the skulls and skeletons and curses and... But it's still like a kid's movie, so you can't really go too far with it, unfortunately. It could have been cool, though. Like rated R, Pirates of the Caribbean. But, yeah, I never played Sea of Thieves. I'm not really into Xbox and wandering around just sailing forever. I did play Pirates of the, Yakuza Pirates in Hawaii. I guess that counts. I just think it's kind of annoying when it's just constantly this, like, fake British accent, you know, oh, the stern, the bow, the poop deck. It's just, I don't know, it's too navy, it's too watery, it's too like, oh, Master and Commander with Russell Crowe, that was a good movie. I watched that a few times. Yeah, when I say it all, when I list everything, it's like, maybe I do like pirates more than I realize. What the hell? I like the freedom too, like, dude, you're on a boat, the open air, the ocean. My issue is, I think, I don't like, it's just the thing when you're on a boat, you're really isolated, and, I mean, it's really no different than being in a car, like, on an island, or just, I don't know, you feel kind of just away from everything. Which shouldn't be a bad thing, but, like, I've never even gone on a cruise before, been on a ferry, been on some boats, but, like, nothing like that. Like, you gotta be you gotta be built differently to do that at all. I know there's One Piece, the anime, I never got into that. It's all piratey stuff. I watched the live action, though. I like Fairy Tail, that's definitely pirate-ish. Sometimes there's big boats, sailboats, and they got their theme song, it's all piratey. But yeah, I just never glorified pirates enough, or gave them enough attention, or cared too much, or... Because it's not really something you want to support, necessarily, but, like, it doesn't really hurt either, so, I don't know. Yeah, all the movies are good. Can't go wrong. Not much to it. Pretty self-explanatory. It's not really something original and creative or different or unique or special. It's pirates, man. Whatever your idea of pirates is, that's exactly what this is. It's just got that spin on it and that flavor and style. But yeah, I like the battles, the cannons, the guns, the swords, the costumes. My thing with pirates, it's when you think of like movies and the industry and cinema and film, and I don't know, I think it's a pretty shallow, you know, hey, what are we gonna dress up everybody as? Let's just make these random pirate costumes, and it's all custom fabric and cheap materials, and everything's all rugged and aged, and it's just such a go-to. It's like zombies. It's like pirates they can just easily be such a convoluted thing that you don't really want to care about it too much or a whole lot, to where it's just kind of too much or not enough, whatever way you want to look at it. Yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean, mate. Savvy?
You best start believing in ghost stories, Miss Turner. You're in one.